Hello, if you're new here, you're most welcome. My name is Stella Luca. I am passionate about parenting, marriage, and family life in general. My channel, Transforming Intense, is my own little way of contributing towards transformation of the society, the community I live in, and with a long-term goal and objectives of making this world a better place for all of us. Talking of transformation, yesterday, 1st of December 2023, was a World HIV/AIDS Day, and that should be a reminder to all of us to keep safe by protecting ourselves and protecting the ones that we care about. If you cannot sustain completely, you must do the do. Make sure you use condom. Well, there is nothing to talk too much about it. HIV is not new and it is real, it kills. With that said, let's just have a quick recap on what we talked about last week. Last week we talked about how to teach children responsibility, how to be responsible, and we talked about, as parents, how we should lead by example, how we should use various techniques depending on the level of maturity of our children and also the stage at which they are. And then we also talked about encouraging and supporting positive behavior. And basically those are some of the things we talked about. Not forgetting, instilling godly behavior in them. I don't know about other denominations, but as a Christian, make sure your children know God, because once they know God, they will empathize and care about others and also respect others. Do to others what they expect to be done to them. Well, those are basically some of the things that we talked about. Today, we are taking a complete different direction. Okay, just to give you a brief background on the topic of our discussion today, we are in a season of campaign against gender-based violence under the narrative of the 16-day of activism against gender-based violence. All right, and this campaign started on 25th of November 2023 and it will end on the 10th of December 2023 for 16 days. Basically, it's globally talked about the violence against the women, the sexual harassment issues, talk of the domestic violence, talk of cyber violence, talk of the sexual abuse and sexual harassment. Talk of gender-based violence. What comes to your mind? I know so many people would think, how men are beating women, that is under, domestic violence and things like that, which is correct. But it has come to knowledge that there is also gender violence against men, and they suffer with it silently. I was just listening to a podcast about gender violence, and someone said that when it comes to male, normally the abused men also become abusers. I don't know whether that makes sense. Abused men become abusers, and it's not only men, or anyone, anybody, a child, a grown-up person, any person that has been made to go through a perpetual abuse will somehow be that exact abuse that has been committed against them. So because of that, I looked at how can I contribute as a parent. What can I do to also bring to light that as parents we have some responsibility to fight against sexual harassment and sexual abuse, and as a citizen, we have a citizen of the world. We all have the responsibility to ensure that we prevent and we stop it. It's not going to be one person, and it's not going to happen now, and it's not something that we can deal with it straight away. But if all of us come together, we put all our effort, little effort from all of us, then we will be able to fight whatever it is that is coming against us. I want us to remember the time of Corona. I think that is the time when all of us, the whole world was tested. And just remember, picture how people were working in solidarity and unity to ensure that we supported each other and were able to fight. So if we all arise the same way we fought against other past eventualities, pandemics that came up, then we will be able to tackle this thing. I also want to say something. Before I forget, I want to appreciate those who are returning viewers. Thank you so much. It is because of you, the likes of you, that I am able to continue creating contents. Yeah, if you find my content at the end of this video, if you find my content of value, I request that you subscribe, you like, and then you share with your friends and the like mind who you think will find this message of value. All right, let's not talk too much. I have 5 points that I would like to bring to your attention as parents, and how we can support in fighting against gender-based violence. Come on now. All of us have a part to play in this. All of us are citizens of the world, whether you are a parent, you are a single person, you are not married, you are a youth. We all have responsibility to ensure that we fight against this. By the way, this, if you see those who are the victim of sexual harassment, the victim of domestic violence, if you see the people who have been abused on cyber, by the way, there is a cyber violence. If you don't know, for instance, somebody will, personal information will be revealed online, and people comment about it. People talk about it. People shame somebody. People are shut down. People are criticized online to the extent that influencers, political figures will feel intimidated. Influencers will feel intimidated to come up and voice out their thoughts and ideas and their contribution towards, impacting the world. So, as parents, I just thought of something. Let me just put this disclaimer. I am not a gender or protection specialist, but I am a citizen of the world. If I see a problem out there, then I feel like I have a role to play. So I find myself as a parent, I have a role in fighting against sexual abuse, domestic violence, and even cyber violence. And this is how I feel like, as parents, how we should do it. Number one, we start with our children. It starts at that foundation. It starts with protection of our children. If we protect our children from these kinds of violences, then we are at a certain percentage protecting them from becoming abusers when they become adults. So we have a role in ensuring that we protect our children. Where our children live, are they safe? Where they go to school, are they safe? The environment they are in, is it a safe environment? We have that responsibility as parents to ensure that we protect our children. It starts with us. The kind of teaching that we give to our children, the kind of things that we expose our children to, what are they? Are they healthy? How do we live in our homes? Are we violent? Are we fighting? Are we abusive? Yeah? All these things as we protect these children, as we make sure that they don't see our grievances, fathers, we don't beat our wives in the presence of our children. Mothers, we do not abuse our fathers in the presence of our children. These things affect our children psychologically, and imagine when they grow up, they will be exactly what they have seen as they are growing up. Yeah? It is very important that as parents, we take our responsibility, we take our position in ensuring that we teach our children, we protect them, we ensure that they are safe, and we make sure that we give them proper teaching, discipline. If you are a Christian, instill godly behavior in them. Let them live by the principles of the Bible. Then we will be able to raise mature and responsible children, people who are healthy, people who will impact the future generation. It starts with that as parents. Another thing we can do is speak up. In our community, not necessarily that we have to go and confront when we hear somebody beating their wives, when we hear somebody, abusing a child, not necessarily, but we can talk. There are channels through which we can report. There are channels through which we can make it known that something wrong is happening in a place so that it can be tackled. There are bodies, child protection. We have the police station. We have our local chiefs. We have the community leaders that we can bring this thing to their attention, and then they will have to look at it on how to solve. If we keep quiet, saying it's none of our business, that is in that house, guess what? You have contributed. Because you have consented. You are indirectly telling that person, go ahead and do whatever it is you are doing. It is your business doing it. So you also, you are a culprit. You are contributing towards a gender, an abuse, violence in the community. So we need to learn as parents, we need to find a way of how to speak up, not necessarily confronting anybody, but bringing it to the attention of the right authority so that they can handle it and ensuring that it is stopped. That's our role as parents. Another thing we can do is to avoid engaging in a talk or encouraging a discussion or conversation around a sexual abuse or violence that has taken place. If we are to talk about it, it should be in a way that we are discouraging it, but rather not talking about it or blaming the victim. We should avoid that. We should, if we are in our small groups, outing, men, for example, when you go out for to watch the football, or you go out, hang out with your boys, if you hear any of your boys saying a negative thing or saying using abusive language, discourage them. Tell them that this is not funny, we should not talk like this, and be a leader. If all of us lead, if all of us become responsible, if all of us talk about discourage these kinds of act, then we'll stop. We are in a position, then we will try. We will stop this kind of actions and activities, violent and abuse against our children, against our fellow human being, the women, and against men. Yeah. So discouraging this kind of talk. If you see on social media somebody is beating their wife, don't pass on the video. If you want to talk about it without forwarding the video, but discouraging it. Reference to it without necessarily forwarding the video. That should be our role. First as parents, and two as citizens of the world. if we join hands with the right authority, with the protection bodies against gender-based violence, guess what? We'll make this place a better place, and we'll be able to stop these kinds of activities from progressing. Last but not least, we should be observant in our community. When I say observant, I don't mean like become CID, you know, noising around, putting our noses in, but be observant. That child in the neighborhood, when they pass, do you notice anything? Do you see them suffering? Do you see them kind of withdrawing? What are you seeing in your area? Are you asking questions? As we observe, we will be able to take action, the right action, to ensure that we become concerned citizens, to ensure that everybody around us is safe. So those are some of the few things that I wanted to talk about. Not being a gender-based specialist, I do not have much to say, but as parents, I felt like we have a role in ensuring that we raise responsible children. One, we become observant to see, monitor what is happening in our society, in a neighborhood, to ensure that we report if we see anything that is not aligning with humanity. We report or talk about it to the right authorities, not talk about it in a gossip form. Talk about it in a way that we are seeking help and solution to solve whatever problem we are seeing in a place. We take part in ensuring that the people around us are not saying demeaning things, are not involved in any kind of violence or abuse, by talking about it, by speaking up, not keeping silent. Because when we keep silent, guess what? We are consenting towards whatever bad act they are committing. All right? Thank you so much. If you have stayed with me this long, that means you found this content of value. Please like, share, and subscribe to motivate me in order to be able to make more videos, and together we'll be able to transform our society, and also in long term make the whole world a better place, if not for us, for the future generation. Thank you so much. God bless you. Until then, bye.